was one of the Brits who's being shouted at by Yogi at the time, so I couldn't guess. We had real problems with the humidity and with the climate, because they wanted to run the Olympics in August, and it's the time we don't race because it's too hot. And we had endless teams of veterinarians who came out before the Olympics because it was a real issue that we were going to get things with heat distress, and because with eventing and parts of racing it's a real welfare issue if you have horses that die or collapse. So they really went to town with giving facilities, and this in fact was just simply at the stables. So if you rode, and they tried to acclimatise the horses by working them slightly in the hotter parts of the day, and then they all went and stood in these wonderful cooling misting fans. We now actually, we've kept these, and these are now at the start of the race. They have them where they're circling before they go into the stalls, and they have them in the finish enclosure as well.
Isn't this where the idea came from for entry?
Could well be.
Yeah,
it could well be. Yeah.
I think it is. It's very much the same idea.
Yeah.
Something very similar at Greenwich as well.
Yes. Yes.
But does this go back to Atlanta, Georgia, when the whole thing?
Absolutely.
I think that's where it was kicked off from.
You know, and they worked out that you had to, you know, you obviously, they would sweat and they dehydrate, so how to keep them cool, basically. So it was an interesting time, but they were actually very lucky, because actually on the day of the cross country it was cloudy and it rained a bit. This is one of my little Irish team going past. The Irish lost their physio on the way in true Irish fashion. They arrived without her, and so they said, Suzanne, would you mind, you know, crikey, okay, no pressure. So their chef de keep was a lovely lady called Ginny Elliott, and she rode, you know, in the very dark ages when I was riding. So she said, oh good God, what are you doing here? So I said, I think I'm coming to look after some of your horses. So we had a lovely time, but we were so lucky that actually it wasn't scorching hot. But again, this sort of picture of this lovely horse with the high rise in the background, it was just bizarre really, but it worked. I do also,